Okay, so today is Tuesday, the 19th of May, and now we've read both of those books, we are going to move on to a short poetry unit. So we're going to spend from today up until Friday, half term, doing some poetry. Okay, so today's poem we want you to read is called Homework, Oh Homework. Okay, so when I go onto the screen next, pause it, have a go at reading it yourself and see how it comes out, see how it flows. Okay, it is a rhyming poem, and then click play and I will read it for you. Okay, Homework, Oh Homework, and it's written by Jack Prelutsky. Okay, homework, oh homework, I hate you, you stink. I wish I could wash you away in the sink. If only a bomb would explode you to bits. Homework, oh homework, you're giving me fits. I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark, or wrestle a lion alone in the dark, eat spinach and liver, pet 10 porcupines, than tackle the homework my teacher assigns. Homework, oh homework, you're last on my list. I simply can't see why you even exist. If you just disappeared, it would tickle me pink. Homework, oh homework, I hate you, you stink. Okay, so your questions. 5 questions today. So looking at the poem, can you identify all of the rhyming couplets in the poem? Okay, so you can colour code them. When we say rhyming couplets, we mean the 2 words that rhyme, okay? So you can list them, you can do lists of them, or you can colour code them on the printed version. What do you think Jack Prelutsky, so the poet, means by the phrase, you're giving me fits? Okay, question 3, what does the word assigns mean? Question 4, do you think the poet would really rather take a bath with a man-eating shark than do his homework? Why does he say this? And question 5, how old do you think the person is who is writing this? Do you think it's a boy or a girl? And why do you think this? Those are your sentence stems. So have a go at answering, pause the video, and we'll go on to looking at some of the answers. Okay, good job. So, can you identify all of the rhyming couplets in the poem? Let me just get my highlighter from down here. So, I'm going to try and change the colour. I'm going to go yellow. So, you stink and sink rhyme. Okay. We've got, I'm going to choose a different colour for you, just to make it clear. We've got bits. Oh, you can't see that very well. And fits. Let's pick a lighter colour. Okay, for blue, we've got shark and dark. We have also then, I'm just going to put a little line next to it. Porcupines and assigns. We've got list and exist. And then we have got pink from Tickle Me Pink and stink. Okay, so those are our rhyming couplets. Okay, and looking at it, there is quite a pattern. Okay, so it goes, every other line has got a rhyme on it. Okay, so those are the rhyming couplets in the poem. So if you'd written them as a list, you would write stink and sink underneath. Okay, you would write shark and dark underneath. What do you think Jack Prelutsky means by the phrase, you're giving me fits? So let's try and find it. Homework, oh homework, you're giving me fits. Okay. I think that Jack Prelutsky, as the reader, I think Jack Prelutsky means you're making me have a little bit of a meltdown, a little bit of a strop, a little bit of a tantrum. Okay. Have you ever had that before, where you've been asked to do something you really don't want to do? And rather than just doing it, you've had a bit of a hissy fit, a bit of a tantrum. That's what I think the reader means there. What does the word assigns mean? In the second verse, because we've got 1, 2, 3 verses, okay, we've got the word assigns there. So eat spinach and liver, pet 10 porcupines, then tackle the homework my teacher assigns. So assigns means that your teacher sets you. Okay, so that your teacher sends home. Okay. Do you think that the poet would really rather take a bath with the man-eating shark. So your second verse. And another word, guys, for a verse in a poem is called a stanza. Okay? It's a strange word, that, a stanza. Let me find my pen and I'll write it down for you. Ooh. A stanza. Okay, so this poem has got 1, 2, 3 stanzas. Okay, so in the second stanza, we've got the line, I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark. Do you really think the poet would rather take a bath with a man-eating shark than do his homework? Why does he say this? I don't think that the poet would rather take a bath with a man-eating shark. I think the poet is saying this for effect, okay, to portray and to emphasise to you, the reader, and to me, the reader, how much he actually hates homework, okay? Because he tells you up here, I hate you, you stink, okay, but it doesn't quite tell us how much, whereas this does. I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark, and I'd rather wrestle with a lion alone in the dark, okay? Both of those things are pretty terrible, and I would not like to do them. But he's saying he would prefer to do them than actually do his homework. Okay. And the last one, the last question, how old do you think the person is who is writing this? Do you think it's a boy or a girl? And why do you think this? Now this, guys, is completely up to you. Okay, I'm not going to give you my answer, but what I do want, when you have written your answer, I would like you to email it over to your teacher, okay? Because this will be an interesting one, and we might be able to look at it in the class Zoom call or in the shout out videos to see how many people think. We know that this poet is called, the poet is called Jack Prelutsky, so we're guessing that Jack is a boy. However, he might not be writing it from his own point of view. He might be writing it from somebody else's point of view. So have a think about whether you think this person might be a boy or a girl. Did you have a character in your head when you were reading it? Was it a little girl? Was it a little boy? How old were they? Okay, because all we know is that this person is at school. It could be primary school. It could be secondary school. Have a think and write us an answer. And then think about why. Why do you think that you thought the person was either a boy or a girl and that age, and let us know. Okay. Also, while we're on this poem, there is also, if you Google this poem, there are different videos on YouTube of different people reading it. And with poems, it's really nice to hear other people reading them, okay? So not you will have read it, okay? I've read it to you. It's nice if you can find a video of someone reading it. It would also be really nice if you've got any older brothers or sisters, or younger brothers or sisters, or your mum or your dad, or anyone within your house. Get them to have a read of it and read it to you and see if they read it in the same way that you read it or that I read it. Okay, well done, guys.
Hello, good morning, class 3. I hope you're okay and got on all right yesterday with your learning. We're going to mark through your work from yesterday. Just moving the wire 1 second. And mark those answers before moving on to today's learning. I'm having to record it slightly differently now because my microphone on my laptop has really decided it doesn't want to work anymore. So I'm using a different laptop where I can't draw on the screen. So it's going to get a little bit more tricky and might probably do most of the answers through typing. Okay, so you'll do it then yesterday. You were finding the duration. Okay, so you had start time, the finish time, and you had to work out how long that was. So for these two TV programs here, we had a program called Pals. It started at 6:30, and I know that's the 6th hour of the day, so that's in the morning. So 6:30 in the morning, and it finished at 7:30 in the morning. When you look at those times, you can see that both of them have 30 minutes past. So both of them are on half past, so from 6:30 to 7:30. The only thing that has changed there is our hours, which means we just have to find the difference between the hours. And if you put 6 in your head and count up to 7, so 6 in your head, 7, it is just 1. So your answer there, the duration is 1 hour. Okay. For the second one then, Dennis the Explorer starts at 3:15 in the afternoon and finishes at 6:15 in the afternoon. Now again, both of those have 15 minutes past, so that means that your minutes don't change, it's just the hour that's changed. You've just got to find the difference between 15 and 18, which is 3 hours. Okay, so well done if you've got those. And then we were looking at 2 watches. So Rosie got on the bus when her watch showed this time, and it might have been helpful if you wrote the digital time underneath. So that was 12:10. And when she got off the bus, her watch showed this time, which is, I'm going to say 13 in the afternoon, 30, so 1:30. And you've just got to find the difference between those 2 times. Now, you start off with it being at 10 past and then it finishes at 1:30, but also your hour has changed from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 13th hour of the day. So you can find the difference between your hours. So between 12 and 1 is 1 hour. So we've got a difference of 1 hour, and then you look at your minutes. You start off with 10 minutes and you end up with 30, so you've got to find the difference between 10 and 30, which is 20. So 1 hour, 20 minutes, that is how long her bus journey was. So well done if you've got those. Do not stress if you haven't though, it's okay. Well done for having a good go. Okay, so for your secure it then, Eva starts playing her piano at 11:30 and she plays for 45 minutes before having a half an hour break. She then plays for another 15 minutes. There's a few ways you could have done this. You could have used that online clock to work it out that I showed you, that's linked in your activity pack, or you could have added together all those different times to find the entire duration and added that on or counted on from 11:30. So we've got 45 minutes and then she had half an hour break, so half of an hour is 30 minutes, and then she played for another 15 minutes. Okay, and when you add all of that together, so 40 add 30, so 40, 50, 60, 70, add another 10, 80, and then you've got 5 and 5 is 10 minutes, that's 90 minutes. Now, how many minutes are there in an hour? There are 60. So when you look at those 90 minutes, if I just partition that into 60 and what goes with 60 to make 90, that's 60 minutes is 1 hour. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 30. So 60 and 30 make 90. So that's 1 hour and 30 minutes. So 1.5 hours. So after 1.5 hours, she finishes playing. All right. So you've run 11:30. You're going to add 60 minutes, add an hour, which takes you to 12:30, and then add your 30 minutes. It then goes up to 1 o'clock. Okay, so she's playing for a long time, an hour and a half. So she finished at 1:30, probably PM. So you might have put 13:30. So probably in the afternoon, not 1:30 in the morning. I don't think her family would be happy with that. So well done if you got that. There was a few different ways to work it out, but I found that that was the easiest for me, to simply add all those durations together for the total duration and then find out what time she finished. Got the hiccups now. Okay, so here is today's learning for you. You've got the date there, so we're on Tuesday the 19th of May, and we're going to be looking at comparing the duration. Okay, so pause it now whilst you write that down. Okay, so when we're comparing the duration, you're going to be finding the duration between time frames. Okay, so here we've got 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. I'm going to find that duration. And over here we've got 1300, so that's 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're going to find those durations for each of these time frames and then work out which one is greater. So we're going to be using these symbols today to show if something is less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, so we're going to be using those symbols. So to begin with, all we need to do is find the difference in time. Now, to do that, I love using, oh my, is it white? I love using number lines to find the difference when finding the duration. So we're looking at 2 times here. So I have got 2 number lines. So to begin with, I'm going to start with 6 o'clock and we're trying to go up to 9 o'clock. Now straight away you can see that they're both o'clocks, so I'm just going to do nice big jumps. I'm going to try using the pen through the mouse, which might be a bit difficult. I'm going to do a nice big jump, okay, like that, and I'm going to add 1 hour. I'm just going to put HR, okay, short for 1 hour, which would give us, oh my goodness, 7, o'clock. All right. What we're going to add, I'll put 0 different. Oh my goodness, this is so much more difficult. And then what we're going to add to 7 o'clock. Now, I could just do lots of little 1 hour jumps, but I think I can work out how many hours are between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock now. So 7, 8, 9. So that'd be another jump of 2 hours. So I'm just going to do one big 2 hour jump, which would get me to 9 o'clock. Okay, then what I have to do is simply add those two amounts there. So 2 hours and 1 hour, so that's a duration of 3 hours. Okay, but now I'm going to compare this time frame here to work out which time frame has the greater duration. So between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, you can see straight away, again, they're both o'clocks, but if you look at the hours, we've got 13 hours, 14 hours. That's a difference of 1 hour. Okay. So now have a look at those two durations. Which one is greater? It is the 3 hours. So I show that it's greater. I'm going to do it here. We show that it's greater with this symbol. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be a long recording. Okay, there and there. There we go. So that time is greater than the other time duration, okay, because 3 hours is more than 1 hour. So even though that's later in the day, or that looks like it's more hours because it's 13, that doesn't really affect it because the duration is shorter, okay. So for here then, we've got 12:30 to 1300 hours, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're comparing that to 3:20 in the afternoon and 3:55 in the afternoon, which is 5 to 4. So again, I'm going to draw my number line. Okay. So I'm going to start with that first time. I'm going to start with 12:30. Okay. I'm going to do a nice jump. I want to get to the next hour. So 12:30. Okay. I'm going to jump up to my next hour, which actually is 1 o'clock, which is what 13 is, okay, because 13 comes after 12. So think about what we're going to add. If we're at 30 minutes past 12 and want to get to the next hour, how many minutes are there in an hour? There are 60, so we just need to add 30 minutes. Okay, so you only need one little jump there, and it's 30 minutes, okay? So the first duration is just 30 minutes. And then our next one is 15:20, and we're trying to get to 15:55. Now we're still in the same hour here, okay? We're still in 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So all I need to do is look at going from 20 to 55. Now I'm going to get nice and close to that number. I'm not going to go straight into 55 yet because it's got 5 units. Here I haven't got any units. I'm just going to do some nice jumps of 10. So I'm going to go from 20 to 50. I want to get to 15:50. Okay, and what do I add to 20 to get 50? So put 20 in your head and counting tens up to 50. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 30 minutes. And then what do I add from 50 to get to 55? Just those 5 units, 5 minutes. Okay, so now have a look at those two jumps. What's the duration in total there? 30 add 5 is 35 minutes, which means, doesn't like me doing that, the second time has the greater duration. Okay, so here we've got a timetable showing different train journeys to different locations. Okay, so we've got a destination here to London, a train going to London, a train going to Leeds, and a train going to Manchester. Where it says train departs, that tells you what time the train leaves the station, and then where it says train arrives, that tells you the time that the trains arrive at their destination. Now we've got a sentence here and it's not complete yet. It says the journey to London is than the journey to Manchester. So think about the words that could go there. It might be longer, it might be shorter, it might be quicker, it might be slower. but we don't know just yet. So let's find the durations. Now, do we need to find out the duration of the train to Leeds? No, we don't need to, because we're just comparing the journey to London and the journey to Manchester, but we could do that one as a practice anyway. So the journey to London then, it leaves at 8:45. So I've got 8:45 here. Okay, so 8:45 is 8:45. We're trying to get to 11:35. All right. Now, that's different hours and different minutes. So what I want to do is think about what I'm going to add to 45 to get to 60, because that will bring me to my next hour. I'm in the 8th hour. The next hour is 9 o'clock. So what am I going to add to 45 to get it to 60, which will be our next hour? It's 15. So if I did 15 minutes there, now normally I'd draw a nice jump here, but because I can't do it with my finger, it's really difficult to do with a mouse. Okay, now we're on 9 o'clock, we need to get to 11:35. So I'm going to do a nice big jump from 9 o'clock to the right hour that I want to be, which is 11 o'clock. I'm going to do a nice jump to 11. So think about what you add to 9 to get to 11. Put 9 in your head, 9, 10, 11. So that's 2 hours. Oh, need a little plus sign there. And now I'm at 11 o'clock. How many minutes do I need to add to get to my 11:35? I just need to add 35 minutes. And that will get me to my arrival time. Okay, now we've got 3 different times there. We simply need to add them together. So I'm just going to start with the biggest really. So I've got 2 hours, I've got 30 minutes, I've got 3 tens there, I've got 1 10 there, so it gives me 4 tens, and then I've got 5 and 5, which gives me another 10, so that's 5 tens, that's 2 hours and 50 minutes. So the journey to London is 2 hours 50, okay, minutes, 2 hours 50 minutes. I'm not going to work out the Leeds one, I'm just going to go straight to the Manchester one, because in this sentence I'm just comparing London and Manchester. So it's 1:10 in the afternoon, the train departs, and it arrives at 2:20 in the afternoon. So there's a few things I could do here. I could simply add an hour, and that would give me 10 minutes past 2, so 14:10, and then I could do a nice little jump to 14:20. I could get myself to the next hour, so think about what I need to add to 10 to make 60, because that will give me the next hour. I might just do that just to stay with that theme that we did there. I think it's really good practice. So just to get to my next hour that I want to be, well, we're going to get to the next hour, which is 14, okay, because we're on the 13th hour there, 1:10 in the afternoon. What did we add to 10 minutes to get to the next o'clock within the next hour? So remember, there's 60 minutes in an hour, so what are we adding to 10 to get 60? We have added 50 minutes. Okay, now we're on 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We just need to get to 2:20. 20 minutes past 2. So all we've had to do there is add 20 minutes. And then all we've got to do is add these 2 amounts together. Okay, so that is 50, add 20 is 70, but remember there's 60 minutes in an hour. So 50 add 10 of that will give us 1 hour with 10 minutes left over. So that's 1 hour 10. Is that journey. 1 hour 10 minutes. So the journey to London, which is this one, is what then the journey to Manchester? Well, the journey to London is 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's very nearly 3 hours, and the one to Manchester is just over 1 hour. So we know that the journey to London is longer, okay, than the journey to Manchester. All right. So here is your do it for today then. Just see if I can move. Can I move this out of the way? Okay, there we go. I'm just checking it's still recording, is it? 41, yeah. Okay, so, sorry guys. We've got our do it here. I want you to use those symbols. Now I've only given you 3 because you're working out durations for 2 things. So you're technically working out 6 things. Okay. Like I've just done, you can write them all in your book. You can do your number lines to help you if you find that helps. I do not mind. You just need to tell me work out the duration for each time frames, okay? And then tell me which one is greater. Now it is going to try and trick you on this last one, okay? So do check now that this isn't using the 24-hour clock. This is in AMs and PMs. So here it's the number 3. It says 3:30 a.m. That's 3:30 in the morning, all the way till 5 o'clock in the evening. So that goes all the way past 3:30 in the afternoon, okay, to 5 o'clock, all right? And then here as well, it's 3:30 in the evening to 5 o'clock in the morning, all right? So don't let that trick you. So pause it now so you can have a go at that, and then when you're ready, press play and I'll explain the secure it. Okay, so here's your secure it then. So Eva and Mo are having a race. It takes Eva 3.5 minutes to complete the race, and it takes Mo 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Eva says, I won because I got a higher time. Is Eva correct? Explain how you know. Okay, so have a go at that then, and I'll go through the answer with you tomorrow morning. Good luck, guys.
Morning everybody, welcome to our writing session for today. We're going to start off with our warm-up activity, and you'll remember from yesterday, this week's warm-up activity is all about it's and its. It's without an apostrophe, meaning that something belongs to something, and it's with an apostrophe, which is the way of saying it is or it has, okay? So first of all, for our warm-up activity, I'd like you to copy out these 3 sentences for me, please, and decide whether the it's that we need to put in is an it is, in which case it needs an apostrophe, or if it's not an it is, then it needs no apostrophe at all. See if you can get those 3 it's correct for me. Our sentences this morning are: it's taken forever to do this painting, it's good to have cereal for breakfast, I love pasta because it's easy to cook. Pause the video, copy out the sentences and put in the right it's. Off you go. Okay, brilliant. Let's have a look at our answers today. So, remembering that it's without an apostrophe means something belongs to something, and it's with an apostrophe means it is or it has. So let's have a little look. It's taken forever to do this painting. It is taken forever to do this painting? No. It has taken forever to do this painting? Yes. So it's with an apostrophe. Okay? It is good to have cereal for breakfast. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it's an apostrophe. It is good to have cereal for breakfast. And the last one, I love pasta because it's easy to cook. Let's check that it is fits in nicely. I love pasta because it is easy to cook. Yes, it does. So all 3 today have an apostrophe in them. Okay? Hope this is getting easier for you now as we go through the week. So, you'll remember yesterday I said we were going to carry on and learn more about conjunctions and use them to make our writing more cohesive. So today we're going to be looking at different types of conjunctions and how we use different conjunctions in our sentences. And we've been looking mostly at these subordinating conjunctions. We've got 2 clauses and we've got a conjunction that joins the clauses in the middle. So here is our example. We will wait here until the rain stops. Our until tells us when something happens, okay? So we were joining with our main clause with our subordinate clause. And remember yesterday, if you did the year 4, the extra challenge, we could say that we could move the subordinate clause to the front of our sentence as well. So it's until the rain stops, we will wait here. But remember, we needed that comma as we go through. So we're going to be looking even more at these today. So these are the reasons why we use conjunctions in our writing, okay? Because using a conjunction tells us when the main clause happened, why the main clause happened, or where the main clause happened. And these are the words that we can use to help us. These are our conjunctions to join that information onto our sentence. So we're going to have a little bit of a practice today. So I'd like you to choose a conjunction to extend the sentence by adding in an extra clause, and you can use any one that you like. You can tell me when it happened, why it happened, or where it happened. But I'd like you to start with this as your main clause. So Harry slammed the door shut because he was cross, okay? Or you might say Harry slammed the door shut when he got home from school, okay? So what I'd like you to do is have a little go, extend the sentence, choose a word, choose a conjunction that you're going to use and add an extra clause on. If you want a little bit more challenge as we go through these, can you use the same main clause and use some different conjunctions? Can you tell me when
in one sentence, why in the next sentence, and where in the third sentence. That's a real challenge within some of these as well. So pause the video, write out the main clause, add your conjunction, add your extra clause, and then come back to us once we've practiced. Okay, super. Let's have a look what you wrote then. Okay, did you write Harry slammed the door so he didn't have to speak to Hermione? Did you write Harry slammed the door shut until his mum told him off? Okay, let's have a go with another sentence then. So we've got a different main clause, a slightly longer one, but it's still just one main clause. So we've got, they were looking straight into the eyes of a monstrous dog. Okay, same activity, choose a conjunction, extend the sentence. If you're looking for this extra challenge, can you come up with 2 or 3 sentences using different conjunctions and therefore different clauses? Have a little go, write down the main clause, add your conjunction, and then extend it with another clause. So the eyes, they were looking straight into the eyes of a monstrous dog. Pause the video, write down your extended sentence. Okay, super. And one last one of these, exactly the same activity, but a new sentence for us. Here we go. Neville had never been on a broomstick in his life. Neville had never been on a broomstick in his life. Add your conjunction, add your extra clause, pause now, and off you go. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for having a go at using those conjunctions to extend those sentences. So our writing for today is all going to be based around a video clip of the sorting hat scene from Harry Potter. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at that video clip together. And then what I'd like you to do is try and come up with 5 sentences about what you see and what happens in this little video clip. But I'd like each of those sentences to have a conjunction in them, which extends the sentence, and if you can, try and make it so that it links in together, so you're writing a paragraph, but within that paragraph you've got at least 5 different conjunctions. Okay, so have a little look at the video, and then we can think about the different sentences we might want to write. Okay.
It's not real, the ceiling. It's just bewitched to look like the night sky. I read about it in Hogwarts, a history.
Will you wait along here, please? Now, before we begin, Professor Dumbledore would like to say a few words.
I have a few start-of-term notices I wish to announce. The first years, please note that the Dark Forest is strictly forbidden to... Also, our caretaker, Mr. Filch, has asked me to remind you that the 3rd floor corridor on the right-hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a most painful death. Thank you.
Now, when I call your name, you will come forth. I shall place the sorting hat on your head, and you will be sorted into your houses. Hermione Granger?
Oh no. Okay, relax.
Mental, that one, I'm telling you.
Right then. Right. Okay. Gryffindor!
Draco Malfoy.
Slytherin!
That's not a witch or wizard who went bad who wasn't in Slytherin.
Susan Bones.
What is it?
Where shall I
Nothing.
put you?
Nothing, I'm fine.
I know. Hufflepuff.
Ronald Weasley.
Ha! Another Weasley. I know just what to do with you. Gryffindor!
Harry Potter.
Difficult, very difficult. Plenty of courage, I see. Not a bad mind either. There's talent, oh yes, and a thirst to prove yourself. But where to put you?
Not Slytherin. Not Slytherin.
Not Slytherin, eh? Are you sure? You could be great, you know. It's all here in your head. And Slytherin will help you on the way to greatness. There's no doubt about that. No? Well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor!
Okay, so using the little video clip that we've just watched of the sorting hat scene, what I'd like you to do for your writing challenge today is write some sentences, around 5, about the scene using the conjunctions we've learned about below. Try and use a variety to show the reader when and where and why the action is happening, okay? So try and use your sentences to show us what's happening and join them with the when, the whys and the where conjunctions that we've been focusing on. Have a little go at those, and when you're ready, come back to me and we'll go through our connected curriculum for this week. Okay, on to our connected curriculum. You remember yesterday that we started a new topic. Remember, in our World of Wonders, our focus this week is on art and sculpture. So some really, really nice activities for you to complete if you want to this week. There is an essential activity to find out more about sculpture and more about the techniques and the types of sculptures and the top 5 sculpture artists. This link here up to the Tate Modern website, where you can do a bit of a virtual tour of the galleries, really exciting. And then you've got some tinfoil sculptures to look at, some natural material sculptures, some clay and cardboard sculptures, and if you don't fancy making something of your own, you can research about some of the wonders of the sculptures as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We will see you back tomorrow for more learning. Speak soon, guys. Bye.